In the Philippines, SMEs are no small matter. With the challenges of the recent years, we want to help SMEs bounce back, grow, and succeed. The Philippine Star, together with its partners, gives you Nakakalokal. Love local, grow global. Nakakalokal is an advocacy program that will shine the spotlight on SMEs. By showcasing their products, we will encourage more Filipinos to buy local. By featuring our artisans' craftsmanship, we will spread the word on Pinoy skill and creativity. By mounting specialized events, we will empower and motivate entrepreneurs with the right tools and insights to make their business grow.
Nakakalocal is the latest initiative by the Philippine Star with the purpose of contributing to nation building. We believe SMEs are vital drivers of economic growth in the Philippines, and so we plan to support them by offering ourselves as a platform for their creative products and their inspiring stories. We are excited to promote SMEs that are developing products and services that can stand the test of time. We want to connect with businesses eager to put the Philippines on the global map with their own creativity. We want to work with companies who can best represent our culture, history, or identity in what they make and promote. More importantly, they have to be ethical and socially responsible entrepreneurs who support sustainable practices in their operations. Nakakalocal is for every SME that wants a door of possibilities open for their growth and expansion. May Nakakalocal be the first of many future endeavors that inspire more Filipinos to support local brands and for the Philippine Star to showcase the ingenuity of our nation's world-class talent.
Our goals are simple. Get more Filipinos to buy local and get more SMEs to go global. Nakakalokal can be the partner you need to grow your SME. Know more about us.
And good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're watching here in the Philippines and all over the world. It is our pleasure to have you here at Nakakalocal, Ready, Set, Negosyo. My name is Artie Ledesma. Very honored to be your host for this great event brought to you by our friends at the Philippine Start. And tonight we'll be having a great forum on what it takes to start off your dream business. Now, as part of Philippine Star's Nakakalocal initiative, our online forum today will take you on an entrepreneurial journey towards realizing your dreams of starting your dream business. Now, syempre, hindi lamang ang Nakakalocal ang makakasama nyo sa biyahe patungo sa pagkamit ng inyong pangarap sa negosyo o pangkabuhayan. We are also very proud to share that Toyota Motors Philippines is a partner of Nakakalocal in supporting and empowering our local micro, small, and medium enterprises, yung ating beloved MSMEs. Now, as we all know, last July 15, Toyota introduced to the Filipino market the panel van and drop side pickup variants of yung kanilang Light Ace, both of which are truly ideal partners ng ating mga Filipino entrepreneurs at kasosyo sa Asensyo. Earlier on, we saw a short snippet, little preview ng kanilang launch where we saw ang iba't ibang pamamaraan kung paano makakatulong ang Light Ace sa pangkabuhayan. Mapa-food truck kayo, o e-commerce delivery van, or employee shuttle. Marami pang mga entrepreneurial opportunities ang ating mga Light Ace van. Talaga naman bagay na bagay para sa homegrown businesses natin ang ating Toyota Light Ace. Iba talaga kapag gawang Toyota. Ngayon naman, tingnan natin kung bakit nga ba ang Toyota Light Ace ay ang perfect partner ninyo sa negosyo at pangkabuhayan. Let's watch this short video of the Light Ace panel van and their pickup variants. Please watch this. Ayan, Toyota, moving your world and of course, moving your business at the same time. Swak na swak sa pag-asenso sa negosyo ang mga kaibigan mula sa Toyota Light Ace. Mula sa iba't ibang variants ng Light Ace hanggang sa mga features nito, tiyak na mayroong Light Ace na para sa kahit anong klaseng negosyo na nais mong pasukin. Pero teka, handa na ba kayong sumama sa biyahe tungo sa pagkamit ng inyong pangarap at mga negosyo? Of course, as we take our first step, it's great if we can hear from Mr. Go Negosyo himself. We have a very special message by my good friend and right now the CEO of RFM Corporation at yung founder po ng Go Negosyo, yung ating kaibigan, Mr. Joey Concepcion. Joey, take it away.
Good afternoon. First of all, let me congratulate the organizers of this conference, Nakakalocal, for really putting this together, and for all our MSMEs in attendance. Again, this will be a great opportunity for all of you to really be mentored by many of the conference speakers. In times like this, the basic question that I'm always being asked is, how will the economy of the Philippines fare, considering we are still in this pandemic and the threat of another storm is brewing, which is basically the high rising prices of our basic commodities. Almost everything that we are purchasing today is increasing in cost. And of course, those of you who are in business, working capital may have to double up. Interest rates are moving up because inflation is happening in America. And America has taken the lead in increasing interest rates. And these are not small interest rate jumps, they're quite big, close to 100 basis points. And the Philippines has followed suit. But like everything, all of this will eventually pass. The pandemic, basically, we are moving now after a year and a half, 2 years into an endemic scenario. And of course, the transition is still there. We're doing our very best to keep the economy running at 100%. Very clear that we will not be able to do any lockdowns. And that's why the booster shots, especially the first booster shots, are really being campaigned for every Filipino to take it. Those who are aspiring entrepreneurs, there are still opportunities out there. And in problems like this and challenges, there are always opportunities that you can find. And it makes it really the best, in this whole area where entrepreneurs compete for a market share. Of course, the best with the best strategy tend to win. And that is the game of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is all about really creating great ideas, unique business models, and building brands. And we know that not many of our micro entrepreneurs can build brands because it requires a lot of capital in terms of advertising expense and of course distribution, which are very key, especially in consumer products. But programs like Nakakalocal and other programs that have been brought out by Negosyo really is there to help enable even the underdog. I was once an underdog in the soft drink and ice cream business. We beat Coca-Cola, and now we have beaten Magnolia, Nestle, and all the other ice cream brands with Selecta. So it can be done. It requires, of course, a lot of thinking on how you would reposition your brands, your services, but it can be done. And we are here to provide that opportunity for all of you. Basically, this opportunity is basically in the digital space that is creating more what I call open platforms for everyone. Entering supermarkets is always a challenge because listing fees are being requested. And of course, these are the costs of entry. But in the digital platforms, there are no listing fees. How do you build your brand? Of course, in the traditional way, as big brands build it through advertising, television, and all of that, paying for endorsers. This thing has changed. There are influencers that you can bring out at lower cost. Social media, learn how to do it. Go Negosyo has mounted so many campaigns, and we don't advertise in TV. We spend a lot of money in social media to reach many of our MSMEs. And today, using influencers, or you yourself, if capable, be an influencer so you can, push your own brand. So the opportunities for everyone has widened up. It's not the super actors out there that we need to pay huge amounts of money to endorse a product. Influencers and social media experts are taking over. So this is an opportunity for those who don't have capital but have the talent to speak, to entertain, and the ability to do unique things that will attract an audience. So again, I hope all of you here who has attended and is attending this conference on Nakakalocal pursue your dreams. Don't worry, the economy is entering turbulent times, but like everything in life, this is all what we have to face. The challenges are there, but it requires an optimistic mindset for us to be able to survive these challenges. And I'm sure you will survive these challenges. Again, good luck.
And again, maraming salamat ulit kay Idol Joey Concepcion, founder po ng Go Negosyo. I learned 3 very important lessons dyan mula sa for opening remarks ni Joey. No? Unang-una sa lahat, magpa-booster na tayo lahat. Kung tayo magpapabooster sa ating kalusugan, booster rin po yan sa ating ekonomiya at sa ating negosyo. At pangalawa, dyan, importante bilang isang entrepreneur ay kung may mga problema, sabi nga niya, magkakaproblema tayo ulit, di ba? Hindi lang dahil sa COVID, sa inflation din. Lagi may problema. But para sa isang entrepreneur, yung problema is just another word for opportunity. We have to turn all our problems into opportunities. We turn our problems into opportunities para magkanegosyo. Yan po, opportunity magkanegosyo yung aking anak para ipakita yung kanyang mga laruan. At pangatlo, no, the third thing that's also very important is he said that we have to be able to utilize digital platforms. So lahat tayo, yung great equalizer para sa ating negosyo are yung mga digital platforms. These digital platforms are what help us grow our business nowadays. And having said all that one, moving on mga kaibigan, let's talk to our first set of guests here this afternoon sa Nakaka-Local Ready, Set, Go Negosyo. And what's important about this one is that yung mga kaibigan ko na lalabas dito are people who I idolize pagdating sa pagiging mga entrepreneur at mga negosyante. So please allow me to introduce my first guest here for this afternoon to teach us about how to grow and maintain our business. Una-una sa lahat, it is my pleasure to introduce our first panelist, yung founder and president of Pure Essentials Specialist Corporation, the brain behind the LivClean brand. Please welcome my good friend, Miss Pinky. Pinky, welcome sa ating show.
Hi, RJ, and thank you for the invite to your forum for Nakaka-Local.
Yan. At yung maraming salamat din kay Pinky kasi extra sacrifice yung pagka-guest niya ngayon dahil siya po ngayon ay nasa Canada. Oh, so anong oras pa dyan sa Canada ngayon? Good morning talaga, di ba? Good morning tayo.
Yeah, it's 3:16 in the morning.
3:16 a.m. Sana, okay.
Right.
We have a strong cup of coffee and some water for you. I'm sure we will have a truly engaging discussion on LivClean. At sa mga nanonood dito ngayon, Pinky is one of those featured brands right now sa Nakaka-Local, which I'm very, very happy about. And she'll tell us a bit more about the origin of how she created this brand in the first place. So again, maraming salamat, Miss Pinky. At yung ating pangalawang guest panelist here right now, I'd like to introduce another good friend of mine, the co-founder and chief operating officer of ito, NextPay, Mr. Artie Lopez. Artie, welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening, RJ. At klaklaruhin ko lang sa ating mga nanonood, ikaw ang aking idol, RJ, as an entrepreneur. So, maraming salamat. Very, very happy to join everybody here dito sa Nakaka-Local. And very excited to have a conversation dito sa ating mga entrepreneurs.
Ayan. At yung importante dito, ang gusto ko lang sabihin sa mga tao na nakikinig kay Artie ngayon, no, ang maliban sa pagiging isang co-founder at COO, Chief Operating Officer ng NextPay, si Artie ay talagang mentor ng mga startup, yung mga sumasama sa mga kompetisyon ng mga startup competition, yung gumagawa ng mga app. Karamihan sa kanila ay dumaan po kay Artie bago sila lumaki at lumago yung kanilang mga negosyo. So we're very happy to have Artie here tonight to teach you, especially kung may mga tech businesses kayo, mga tech startup, magaling siya dyan. At maganda dyan naman si Pinky, maganda rin yung background niya kasi si Pinky naman, hindi lang yung background niya mula sa LivClean, no? I've known Pinky for many, many years. Galing yan Goldilocks, galing yan Domino's. So sa mga traditional businesses, expert dyan si Pinky. So okay, mga nakikinig dito ngayon, you have an opportunity to learn about traditional businesses from Miss Pinky and from Artie Lopez, yung mga startup businesses. Yan, sagot kayo ni Artie Lopez. Now, since we're all here right now, pa-picture naman dyan, Jam. Take our picture here, Jam and Kenji. Smile, guys, smile. One nice picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thanks so much, Jam and Kenji. Now, kung meron kayong mga katanungan para sa ating mga panelista from Artie or Pinky or even myself, please pakilagay lang po sa ating chat box dyan po sa Facebook. Put your comments here down below para sagutin po ng ating mga panelista mamaya konti. At the same time, we will do first a discussion amongst ourselves. Mag-uusap muna kami ni Artie pati ni Pinky. Then, mamaya konti, magkakaroon tayo ng open forum where we will ask mga questions sa mga nakikinig sa ating Nakaka-Local forum. So yung first question ko, no, kung tayo po ay nakikinig kanina kay Joey Concepcion, di ba sabi niya, even in times like this one, in crisis, there's always problems, but problems turn into opportunities. I think that's the best way for us to start talking about a business. Dahil, di ba, laging iniisip ng mga tao na nakikinig sa atin, saan ko makukuha yung ating business idea na to? Where do I get all my ideas for business? And usually, pag si Artie, alam niya sa mundo ng mga startup, yung unang katanungan sa mga ng mga investors sa mga startup is, what problem is your business trying to solve? So kung ganyan, let me ask you also as well. Let me start off with Pinky, yung LivClean business mo. What problem were you trying to solve nung naisip mong gumawa na ito? Kasi, di ba, galing ka Goldilocks, galing ka Domino's, biglang pumasok ka sa parang cleaning business, di ba? Or personal cleansing business. So, anong naging entrepreneurial journey mo na, what problem were you trying to solve? Pinky?
Well, like what you said kanina, RJ, problems turn into opportunities. And simply put, one day, my doctor told me to remove certain processed items in my system because I was having an illness called chronic fatigue syndrome. So I had an aha moment. Yun yung naging opportunity ko, no, na sabi ko, is it only in just eating or ingesting food that I should be taking parang natural foods or go natural. Pwede rin ba kaya to go natural cleaners. So I went to the supermarket and tried to look for a natural cleaner made with active ingredients that could really deep clean our home. And so when I couldn't find any, kasi as a marketing professional, when you read labels and parang kung medyo may konting fake news or half-truths, So, sabi ko, ay, parang hindi naman ito talaga nakakalinis. Yes, some of them could be um, aromatic and, smell nice, but I was really looking for something natural that could really clean our home safe and effective. That would be good for children and to be around pets, So, that's when I did my research. I used my marketing background to come up with a business plan. And that's when I came up with a natural home cleaning solution. But RJ, when I came up with this was before the pandemic. And this was back in July of 2019. So, there was this still struggle in, my heart trying to see if I should do this or not because I was still in the corporate world. And so, but I still did the homework. I found a business partner who would, do this for me in terms of production. And her name's Lynette Nang. Hi, Lynette, if you're watching. This wouldn't have happened if you weren't around. So we did the research in the fourth quarter of 2019, and we came up with two products coming from the business plan I made. It was a powder because that's what you need in your home is just a powder and a liquid. And the powder's active ingredient being baking soda. And conceptually, the business plan I made was a liquid cleaner whose active ingredients would be pure calamansi essential oil and cleaning vinegar, which is an innovation that's never before done in any part of the world. So, calamansi being endemic to our country, then provided me that opportunity to say, it's about time that we highlight calamansi. And we were able to, by God's grace, we were able to find the supplier of pure
Wow.
calamansi essential oil. That's just, before they were exporting it to Thailand because there was no local demand for it. So this way, if I put the oil in the cleaner, it would encourage farmers to keep planting
Yan.
calamansi
So in fact,
because
parang you're supporting yung ating local economy pa by what you're doing kasi
yeah,
mga inclusive economy yung tinatawag po dyan, di ba? Inclusive
that's
economy yung
right.
ginagawa nyo dyan.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
So then when the pandemic hit in March, I knew it was time to launch it, and it wasn't because of the pandemic that I launched it, but it accelerated the desire to support the Philippine agriculture industry and to
I
also
see.
make a difference because, if the pandemic taught us anything, is that for all of us to go natural and get rid of toxic chemicals
That's
that
right.
are harmful to not just to the environment but to your home, diba?
Oh,
So,
actually, Pinky, nakikinig ko yung asawa ko, si Vanessa just wants to say hi because siya po yung isang
hi.
gumagamit ng LivClean ngayon. Artie, you should try the LivClean products as well. Ayun po.
Yeah, and also
Very
she's
happy with the
trying.
products here right now. Kaya, tinan mo yung makinis yung balat ng asawa ko ngayon. Okay? Thank
No
you so
makeup.
much. No makeup daw, no makeup.
Yeah.
Okay, very good endorsement na. So, Pinky, really great story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. At yung nakita ko dyan sa pang sinasabi ni Pinky, yung pandemya na ito, actually, na-accelerate pa yung paggawa ng produkto niya. Kasi sabi niya, if she accelerates it, two advantages. Unang-una, magagamit yung digital marketing kasi sa panahon na yan, it was easier to do digital marketing habang sa panahon ng pandemya. At pangalawa, nakakatulong siya sa ating agricultural sector. Because, we need to have the agricultural sector and you can accelerate things during this pandemic. So, nakita yung kanyang compassion to help others. The best businesses are businesses which help other people. Maraming salamat, Pinky. Now, let's go naman to Artie Lopez over here. Now, very interesting. I know that the partner over here, ni Artie, your partner, he's actually Filipino-Canadian, came back here, had a really great idea, and you partnered with him. Now, alam mo, medyo pagdating sa finance, maybe not many people are so financially savvy. Hindi nakakaalam sa mga problema ng finance. But can you explain in layman's terms, anong problem yung sinasolve ng NextPay? Let's kind of break it down for them. What is the problem that you were trying?
Sure. Yeah, sige. Actually, pero alam mo, kung okay lang, RG, magkukwento ako ng konti. Kasi you said something kanina about problems are just not opportunities that haven't been discovered yet, di ba? And I want to make kwento similar to what happened to Pinky. Actually, what happened is NextPay wants to be able to uplift the financial wellness of every Filipino. Yan talaga yung vision namin, no? To be able to improve the financial wellness of every Filipino. So nung nagsimula kami, what we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to help Filipinos na makapag-save at makapag-invest ng pera. So gumawa po kami ng isang app kung saan bago mo makuha yung sweldo mo, pwede ka magsabi dun sa app kung magkano gusto mong tipirin o i-save. Para hindi mo na kasi 'di ba, napapansin niyo ba pag nakuha mo na yung pera, medyo mahirap na, magagastos mo na siya, 'di ba? So yung savings na ginagawa namin dati, bago mo matanggap yung pera galing sa iyong sweldo, tinatabi na namin para talagang sure saving siya. Pero ginawa namin to, RJ, alam mo kung kailan? Di-launch namin yung app sometime early 2020. And ano nangyari nung March?
Sa gitna ng pandemya, bale. Sa gitna ng pandemya.
Sa gitna ng pandemya. So imagine mo nangyari sa amin, RJ. Hindi namin gusto namin tulungan ng mga Pilipino, pero at the same time, yung mga employer, hindi sila makapagsweldo sa mga tao kasi nag-lockdown. Bawal pumunta sa bangko, hindi sila makapagbigay ng mga cheque, hindi sila makapagbigay ng cash. So ang ginawa namin sa NextPay, tinulungan namin itong mga employer, tinulungan namin itong mga entrepreneur, gumawa kami ng platform na mas madali magpadala ng pera from kung saan man mo galing, kunyari kung meron kang online banking o kung meron kang e-wallet, mapapadala mo yung pera na yon sa mga empleyado mo in batches. So doon kami nagsimula sa NextPay. That was the actual product na during the pandemic in 2020, lumago siya. Maraming companies at nangailangan talaga nung time na yun, kaya yun yung ginagamit nila. So we started off with that. But after a few months, na-realize namin na yung mga negosyante, hindi lang yung pangpasweldo o yung pagpasweldo ang problema nila. Minsan, nangongoblema din sila sa pagkolekta ng pera. So, tinulungan din namin sila doon. We started launching products naman to collect payments from customers. No, tinutulungan namin mga negosyante tulad nyo na mangolekta. Paano? Meron kami mga digital invoice na ginawa na pwede kang magpadala lang ng invoice. Pwede mo padala sa link, pwede mo padala sa Viber, sa Messenger, o kahit sa text. Tapos pag clinic nila yon, bubukas yung invoice, tapos makikita nila kung magkano yung kailangan nilang bayaran. Pero ito yung maganda. Doon mismo sa invoice, pwede ka mag-click na pay now. So mababayaran ka na agad. So kung ikaw yung negosyante, alam mo ba na yung itong digital invoice namin na may pay now, nakapag-improve to ng payments nila by almost 60%. So yun, plus marami pa kami ibang ginagawa para tumulong sa mga entrepreneurs, no? So kunyari, 'di ba, sa Pilipinas medyo nakakailang kasi mangolekta di ba? Pag kunyari may utang yung isang customer mo, alam mo naman, you want to maintain a good relationship. So gumawa rin kami ng automated SMS reminders tsaka email reminders na, kailangan mo mangolekta ng pera, ha? So in essence, ang ginagawa ni NextPay is we help growing businesses send money, manage money, and collect money. So basically, gusto namin i-handle almost end-to-end ng lahat ng financial transaction mo para gawin mo ang kung saan ka galing. Ikaw ay magpalago ng iyong negosyo. Kami na bahala sa pagdaan at paglipat ng pera. So that is the problem that we are trying to solve, RJ.
Wow. At nakita nila sa sinasabi ni Artie ngayon, no, is that when they were creating the business of NextPay, the more pain points that came out during the pandemic, the more that they were able to solve it. So talagang nakikita niya, I mean, that's yung mindset dapat ng isang entrepreneur. Sinasabi ko lagi niya, yung papel ng isang entrepreneur is not to say whether a situation is good or bad. Yung papel ng isang entrepreneur is to say, what is the opportunity that exists in a good situation and especially in a bad situation, di ba? Kasi sometimes I mean, na tayo takot naman, di ba? We all experience fear. It's just that the way sometimes yung mga ibang entrepreneur, they use fear as a motivator or they have to, kumbaga, block out the fear. Wag mo na pag-isipan yung fear, isipin lang yung opportunity kasi no choice moving forward sometimes, di ba? When you pursue an opportunity. Having said that, no, after, because di ba may proseso yung pagiging isang entrepreneur. So first, meron kang magandang ideya para like Pinky, nag-business plan pa yun. But she didn't really have to. But I think the idea is that, syempre, start from the idea, then you start to flesh it out, binubuo mo yung idea mo. At meron tayo lagi sinasabi na secret sauce kasi anybody can, kunyari nung hit ng pandemic, lahat ng tao gumagawa ng ube cheese pandesal. At biglang sanda mo, di ba, ang daming nagkaroon ng ube cheese pandesal kasi gaya-gaya. At yung natira matibay na lang dyan, di ba? Yung tipong either there's a certain quality to the food or there's certain skill set para gumawa ng talagang masarap na ube cheese pandesal. At yung tawag ko dyan is yung secret sauce. Ibig sabihin, anong kaya mong gawin na hindi kayang gawin ng ibang tao? Whether it is access to resources, access to materials, access to skills, or mas magaling ka mag-marketing. So, Pinky, I'll start off with you, Pinky, because I know si Pinky used to be, presidente ka ba noon ng Philippine Marketing Association? Tama ba ako,
right.
Pinky?
Yes,
that's right.
in 2016. Yeah.
That's right. So, Pinky, expert to. Tama-tama that ito yung tanong natin dito kay Pinky. So, Pinky, using your product lang as an example, yung LivClean, how are you able to create yung tinatawag na unique selling proposition, yung USP pagdating sa marketing? O sa akin, yung simple salita yung secret sauce. Kasi syempre, malalaki yung mga kakompetensya mo dyan, di ba? I mean, many people are claiming natural product, organic product, biglang papasok ka dyan. How do you kind of differentiate yourself here right now? Anong innovation na hindi nila medyo kayang gawin?
Well, RJ, kanina you mentioned something about, what you're really good at, what are your skills, and what do you love to do, you sort of match it. I guess the third most important element in trying to find your unique selling proposition is you have to know what the world needs. And when those three intersect, then you find your purpose. For entrepreneurs, it's not just a matter of making money. Yes, while that is important to some so that there are financial returns, first is you really need to define what your mission is so that then you match what you want to do. Parang self examination of conscience, diba? So it's like you really introspect, do it inside of you. And so, and in my case kasi, it was personal, something really happened to me that I wanted to come up with natural cleaners to parang experiment in my home, diba? Parang kasi nga, the doctor told me to remove, process everything. And I came from the food business. And so I'm from the food category. So it was, challenging that some of the things that the doctor told me to remove, were in bakery products, unfortunately, So I had to eat, I had to go on a natural route. This journey is not easy, or even being an entrepreneur for that matter. So finding your purpose is key, and again, what does that mean? It's intersecting what you're good at, what your skills are, what you love, and what the world needs. And in my case, I knew that I wanted to make a difference in the lives of not just our home, but in the lives of people, that there are natural alternatives to toxic laden chemical home cleaners that you use in your home. So that became my unique selling proposition.
Yan. Actually, yung sinasabi ni Pinky ngayon, tinatawag na ikigai, di ba? Sinabi ni Coach Artie sa akin, pero when she was talking, I'm sure all of us were aware that yung ikigai, yan yung parang intersection na natin sinasabi ni Pinky, di ba?
Yes, that's right.
You're passionate about it, and at the same time, you can make money from it at the same time. Or the other one I usually describe is si Simon Sinek, yung Start With Why. Because usually, kung mas malaki yung why mo, bakit mo ginagawa yung negosyong ito? Yan yung talagang you can put your heart into it. Kagaya ko yung negosyo ko, yung merkato. Ano yung why ko? Yung why ko, it's a food market, di ba? Pero sa akin, nakakatulong kami sa mga maliliit na negosyante para lumago yung mga negosyo nila. Kaya malakas yung why ko. Kay Pinky malakas yung why niya kasi sabi niya, I want to help other people sa kanilang kalusugan, di ba, Pinky? That's really where it's coming from, yung ikigai ni Pinky. Before everything else, before I go to Artie, let's just show, kasi baka iba dito nagtataka, ano ba yung LivClean na yan? Let's show on the screen right now some of the products ni LivClean. Jam, can we show lang the we took pictures from the website para makita ng mga tao. Ayan lang, yung mga LivClean products which we found that over there. Pinky, can you tell us a bit more lang so people get a better idea of the LivClean products that you have over here?
So we have 2 basic cleaners because that's all you need in your home. A liquid cleaner in cleaning vinegar with calamansi and a powder called multi-purpose powder cleanser. Because you know what's good for your kitchen is good for your bathroom, which is technically the dirtiest part of your home, and it's good for your living room. So it doesn't mean that you need a specific cleaner for each part of the home. No, hindi. So what makes it special? Each of them can work independently of each other, you know. So and the beauty of it is you can combine both the powder and the liquid to form a paste. And that one you can deep clean your stove, your sinks, your refrigerators, your ovens. And the product on the right, we came out with the third product called Anolite All Natural Disinfectant, because we know that during the pandemic, what was the most used disinfectant, and all, with all due respect, alcohol. Oo naman, 'di ba? Parang we all grew up with alcohol, but you know there's certain active ingredients there, like, yun, 'di ba, you cannot really douse yourself with alcohol, no? So, you know, the Lord really gave this earth such a bounty that there was bound to be a natural disinfectant. And gratefully, you know, we were able to find the solution for it in Anolite, which is electrolyzed water with pure sodium chloride, or simply put, salt, you know. So the outcome of electrolyzed water and salt is hypochlorous acid. Then what is it? It's the active ingredient that our bodies, this the active ingredient of Anolite, and at the same time, our bodies produce hypochlorous acid to fight germs, bacteria, infection. So when your body comes into contact with Anolite, it's safe, diba? It's from a health perspective, you know, in terms of you're not going to get these respiratory illnesses because you're inhaling toxic chemicals and substances.
I see.
Yeah, and you're not polluting the environment.
Let me clean my screen lang over here, ha.
I love
Spray
you,
ko lang yung screen ko para
RJ.
makita ko yung ano, ha, na okay. Malinis na ngayon. LivClean. Okay. So, I just want to point out sa mga nakikinig kay Pinky, one of the nice things you realize, 'di ba? Yung kanyang background when it's listening, I mean, not time marketing siya. When you create your own product, talagang you do deep down research. Talagang pinag-aralan niya yung industriyang yan, di ba? And then, one of the new value propositions na sinasabi niya is when you get the product, it's parang all for one and one for all. Makakatipid ka pa,
Yes,
di ba, when you use this product. So, you're trying to find different ways to actually market your products. Now, I want to go na to Artie over here when it comes to NextPay. Now, Artie, you know, kasi, of course, when you come up with a new product like yours, marami ka rin mga kalaban. May mga mas malalaking kumpanya, very established companies who put up something that is like NextPay. How did you make sure that, you know, kahit paano these people, these other companies just don't take over what you do or just copy what you do? What naman is your sort of like your secret sauce to make sure that NextPay will continue to be above, to be one step ahead of the rest?
Well, thanks, RJ. No, that's really lalo na sa tech, napakahirap niyan, no, kasi ang bilis talaga gumalaw sa tech. And kami, what we really do is, rather than measuring ourselves, kasi kung mag-aantay kami sa kalaban, di ba, kung anong gagawin nila, kami, we measure ourselves on how better are we today than we were yesterday, and how can we be better tomorrow. And how do we do that? Kailangan constant yung pakikipag-usap namin sa aming mga customer. We try to find out what is it that they like about using NextPay, what is it that they don't like, and what are the problems na hindi pa nasusolve ng NextPay para sa kanila pagdating sa negosyo, pagdating sa pera, sa finances, pa negosyo. At pag nakikinig kami, titingnan namin kung marami mga customer may problema ng ganito, gumagawa kami, we build into the product, we continuously improve it. So, ganun talaga sa tech Yun ang advantage namin. So, wala masyadong research sa simula, wala masyadong business modeling. It's really more about prototyping and
Oo.
experimenting, no?
Continuous
So, yun ang advantage.
innovation. Oo.
Correct.
Artie, I hope I'll stop you because yung mga ibang tao, they're familiar, kasi iba yung pagdating sa negosyo ng startup, iba po yung kanila. Kasi pag traditional marketing, gaya namin ni Pinky, iba yung pagkagawa, we prepare the product so much time before we launch it. Pero iba naman yung methodology pagdating sa mga startup, especially online. Dapat ma-launch ka agad and you course correct on the way, inaayos on the way, di ba? Can you explain, Coach Artie, a bit more about that one? Kung paano gawa ng produkto online?
Oo, kasi pag online, ang maganda dito is experiments talaga, no? So pag nag-experiment ka, magte-testing ka ng isang produkto, isang service, pwede mong quickly na i-launch, tingnan mo kung gagana, kung may usage. In fact, pwedeng hindi mo i-launch. Tinatawag natin yung mga private beta, ganyan. So pwede kang kumuha ng mga private users to test it out. And then if they find value, saka mo ilabas, diba? Saka mo i-launch. Yan ang advantage ng isang digital na business. Pero pag kunyari, hindi pa to. Kunyari, sinabi ng users na it's not something that they need. Or better yet, sinabi nila, okay na sana, pero pwede bang i-adjust ito to a certain way? Pwede mo i-muna adjust bago mo i-launch. And that's why tech products are faster in terms of finding what we call product market fit. Yung tamang produkto sa isang tamang customer, no? Pag match na match talaga, willing sila magbayad. So yan yung agility talaga of tech products and mga tech solutions. At kung kayo, negosyante kayo, hopefully, yung inyong negosyo, iniisip nyo na, ano yung digital strategy ko? Paano ko gagawing mas digital yung negosyo ko para mabilis kami gumalaw, para mabilis kami mag-prototype, para mabilis kami matuto sa aming mga customer.
Oh. At ito rin, Artie, kasi nung nakikinig ako sa iyo kanina, when I was listening to Miss Pinky, and I could see the reaction of Artie. Actually, Artie was thinking, I'm guessing, iniisip ni Artie, pwedeng pang startup to, yung pagka ni Miss Pinky, you'll be able to find a lot of venture capitalists to invest in the type of businesses, di ba? Can you explain to people why, in your mind, it was a good product which you can present now to others? Because it's a very good learning, di ba? Her product is pitch perfect, literally, di ba? Can you explain to people why?
Yeah, investors, what they're looking for, what they're really looking for is a really good problem and a really good solution. And you saw in Pinky's story, diba? She had the problem, she personally had that problem, she related to it, it was relevant to her, and she did the legwork to be able to find the right solution. And talagang she got all the data, all the research, put it together to a nicely packaged product that was so prevalent that people bought na pati yung ating host meron siya sa bahay, di ba? So the market niya pa na-distribute niya ng mabuti, and that's a good business. Yan ang isang magandang negosyo. Meron kang problema, sinolve mo yung problema, meron kang perang kinita in the process.
At may product market fit pa. May product market fit, di ba?
Product market fit na talaga. So, sino ang hindi mag-i-invest dyan, di ba? So, Pinky, sabihin mo lang sa akin, baka kung gusto, maghahanap tayo ng investors.
Tayo ng malalaking investor dyan, Pinky, pwede na pa-launch sa buong mundo, di ba? That's why I was thinking it's a really great product. I like the mix of the people that we have here on the show. Now, moving on to I think the last question before we open this up to the open forum, is this one, the idea, especially for many entrepreneurs, especially mga Pinoy, they really hate the idea of failure. The one reason kung bakit di sila pumapasok sa sarili negosyo is that they don't want to fail. Kasi failure is two pronged sa Pinoy. Isa failure, syempre, yung financial failure, yung business failure. Hindi gagana yung business, hindi siya sisipa, people don't like it. But pangalawa, pinapersonal yung failure, di ba? Para pag mag-fail ako sa negosyo, parang failure ako sa buhay, hindi ko pwede makaharap sa aking mga magulang, mga kaibigan, because they don't like the idea that they failed. Maybe I want to ask you first, Pinky. I'm sure for all the years you've been working, you've had many failures, admittedly, di ba? Walang entrepreneur, walang negosyante dito na walang failure.
Yes.
But I'm sure that the failure became also an important lesson. How should entrepreneurs perceive failure in their lives, Pinky? Maybe from your own heartfelt experience.
From a realistic perspective kasi, it's called preparedness. We cannot go into any business na hindi tayo handa financially. So, when I went into this, I, told myself, I'm giving myself X yung worth of money, to set aside. And I'm ready to invest. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, expense. Kasi pag sinabi mong, if ay, gastos lang yan, puro gastos. No, it's like planting a tree. Pag nagtanim ka ng puno or any plant for that matter, it takes time before yan to tubo and to grow its roots and to bear fruit especially. Diba, ang mango tree nga 5 years before a mango tree really comes up with juicy and delicious mangoes. And I'm not saying, a business will take 5 years before it grows. But all I'm saying is you have to have the patience. If you believe in the purpose and the mission of what you're doing, kailangan tatagan mo lang yung sarili mo, 'di ba? And it takes a village to raise a child. Meaning, hindi mo yan kailangan solohin. There is a network out there like what mentors like Artie, no, you can go to, and there's so much help in networking, in finding out who you can ally with so that, maturuan ka and how to grow with this. And most importantly, right now we're in post-pandemic, but we're in the law. When I launched this and also Artie, if we were like right smack in the middle of pandemic. And so dapat talaga being realistic, haharapin natin yung katotohanan na and then be creative. Like with me, I knew from the beginning that this product would work in the digital world because, and that was exactly what happened. Like people were shopping online because they weren't going to go to the supermarket. Okay, so now that we're in 2022, medyo iba na. So you have to be agile. You're not just prepared, but you're agile to able to address what's going to be happening from here on now. Kasi kailangan hindi tayo pwedeng stagnant where we have to be able to move as quick and as fast as possible,
That's right. Yeah, you have to move. I think that's the point, diba? You have to move as quick and as fast as possible, especially yung tinatawag ko din course correct, diba? If you can. And the important thing is that it's okay to fail. You just fail fast. Siyempre, iyak ka na konti. Then pagkatapos, punas yung tears mo, then fail forward, di ba? Okay, matuto ka na, di ba? Move forward. In fact, I want to show you one more thing, no? Yes, Artie, please go ahead, please.
Sorry, that's a really important fact kasi, pag nagko-coach ako ng mga entrepreneur, lagi ko sinasabi sa kanila, one of my favorite quotes, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process.
Yes,
lahat ng kilala niyong successful sa mundo, lahat sila nag-fail at nag-fail, pero natuto sila sa failures nila, kaya sila naging successful. Hindi yan automatic, hindi yan unang try mo maging success ka. Walang ganun. So remember guys, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process.
Yeah. In fact, that's what I want to teach. Actually, I'm speaking. I have kids, diba? Our kids are a bit older than mine, but that's what I want to teach the kids. It's okay to fail. I mean, it's okay to make mistakes, diba? Siyempre, mahirap kasi kami, Pinky, diba, lumaki kami na, huwag ka magbabaksak, huwag ka na, diba? Diba? But I mean, sometimes you have to let kids, okay, when they fail sometimes, they're the ones that they even learn more from the failure than they learn from being successful all the time. Imagine yung mga ibang tao na, alam ko yung mga story ng mga tao na puro biglang isang baksak na grade, parang sira na yung buhay nila, di ba? Kasi they cannot appreciate failure in their lives. But it's part of the process. And talking about the process, no, here's another product that Pinky has also in first. I know we can show it later on, but Artie, first for men, di ba? Ito yung natural product. So she also, fermento. Really great products over here that she has. So also all natural as well. Ayan. So you can also check out her site. So ayan. Konting plugging kay Pinky yan. But moving on. So we're talking about, we talked about a failure here. In fact, Artie, you're saying that even in your own, in the startup world, particularly failure is really built into the business model, hindi ba? Tama ba ako dyan, Artie?
Yeah, I mean, sa startup, no, lalo sa digital, meron tayong tinatawag na pivot. So pag kunyari, may sinubukan ka tapos hindi nag-workout, pivot ka, susubukan mo ulit in a different way or a different product or a different pricing. And then you continuously repeat that until na makuha mo yung success, tapos saka mo siya i-push, saka mo palakihin yung negosyo. So yeah, failure and learning from that and being able to adjust is really, really important.
Oh. In fact, last night I was interviewing on my podcast si Jason De La Rosa, yung founder ng Bounce Back Philippines. At sabi niya, I had a startup called Kita PH. And it took him 8 years until it finally made money. And it only made money after the pandemic happened kasi that was the first time nag-adjust yung business model niya. And only in the pandemic were they able to find that niche. So you have to realize sometimes it's really a whole process of failure,
Mm.
but then you're learning along the way. Kung,
Mm.
the only thing that matters right now is kung gaano kahaba yung PC mo, di ba?
PC.
Your PC, your grit and your resilience to continue and how you perceive the failure. And I'm sure I can all relate to both of you coming from doing my own business as well. And what's nice is that a lot of the people na nakikinig sa atin ngayon, they have their own questions. I hope you don't mind right now going sa ating forum to address some of their questions. Both
Yes,
Pinky and
yes,
Artie
please.
to answer. But I like this one. The first one is from Kirsten Santos. Sabi niya, let's flash this question over here dyan kung kaya natin. What activities would you recommend aspiring entrepreneurs to invest their time in? Oh, really, really great question. Can I answer that first? Join Negosyo. For me, that's one of the things that Negosyo has. Negosyo's got a lot of great mentors. Kami ni Pinky, magkasama kami sa Negosyo. We're always together over there. Really great place. You can go visit their website. And of course, join the talks of Nakaka-Local. Pinky, ikaw naman, what are the great times or great ways for aspiring investors to invest their time in? Or aspiring rather entrepreneurs?
You have to find the problem that the world needs, as Artie said. Totoo yun. Kasi, it's, yes, you can be good in making cake or in making something, some lumpia. Pero, is that really, how can you be different? If you have to find that uniqueness in your product line, 'di ba? So anong meron nun? At pag nahuli mo 'yon, you try it, So and you have to just think outward what the customer would want, anticipate it, 'di ba? So what activities? It could be what, again, I go back to what I said earlier. What are your skills and what you're good at? The more you look at that, 'di ba? Kasi I mean, I know that I'm a marketing professional. I'm not a chemist, So, but then you have to most importantly, pray, 'di ba? Kasi para so that God will surround you with the right people who can
That's
help
right.
you,
That's right.
push this forward, 'di ba?
In fact, I wanted to say lang, if you don't mind, Artie, if I can make singit lang before you answer, is I'm part of the Alibaba Netpreneur program. Now we're learning about what Jack Ma has built, how he built the Alibaba ecosystem. And one of the biggest things I picked up from that one is that yes, he keeps talking about what is the additional value that you give to the consumer. What's the additional customer value? That's all he's thinking about. What's the additional customer value? That's why he built Taobao. That's why he built the logistics system. That's why he built DingTalk, because it's all about saying, what's my additional customer value? And that's what that's his mantra. And that's why he developed all these different products. And that's why we have to keep on thinking about what's the customer experience? How do we add more value to what he has right now? O Artie, ikaw naman, what would you ask, especially for people who want to be aspiring entrepreneurs, especially mga tech entrepreneurs? Marami dyan gusto gumawa ng sariling app or whatever. Where should they invest their time in?
Sige. So outside sa mga napresenta nyo na, so what you've already said, siguro I could give you three things, three activities. Number one, validate. Kailangan mo muna i-validate yung iniisip mo na product or idea. And ang ibig sabihin ng validate is, huwag ka muna gagastos ng masyadong malaking pera at oras. Subukan mo muna. Kaya tayo tinatawag natin, gumagawa tayo ng prototype. We come up with yung MVP, di ba? Yung minimal viable prototype. Tingnan natin kung ito ba talaga yung tamang solusyon sa problema and meron ba talagang bibili nito magbayad. So number one is validate. The second probably that I would say is you have to be able to collaborate. So you should go out there and meet other founders, meet other entrepreneurs, learn about their stories, learn from their mistakes so that you don't have to make them all again kasi mahal yun magastos yun. So try to learn from the mistakes of others. No? So validate and then collaborate. And probably the last one that I would say is that continuous learning. As an entrepreneur, yun yung nakikita ko sa lahat na magagaling na entrepreneur. Never sila natitigil. Basa sila ng basa. They not only learn about what they're doing, but they learn about other things also na eventually nadadala nila, napapasok nila sa negosyo nila. So learn constantly. Be as active mind as a child, when you want to learn about different things. So siguro for me, those would be three activities.
Yeah. Coach Artie, I have a question. For those who want to participate in a forum parang where they can learn from the founders or other startup owners, ano yung mga organization na pwede nang puntahan or they can follow online? I'm sure you're part of we're both part of many of them, but maybe you can give them some tips on where they can go.
Yes. Yeah, so actually, you know what? Even just tonight, the National Incubator, Kubo, actually has a
It's tonight.
startup enabler
It's happening
meetup. It's
tonight.
tonight.
Oh.
Yes, they're watching the show from there, by the way.
Oh, hi,
So,
hi. I was supposed to
yeah,
go, but I'm hosting right now. Oh.
exactly what I told them. So, unfortunately, but you know, there are a lot of like this. So, Kubo, our national incubator, actually holds many of these events weekly. Linggo-linggo
That's
ito. So,
QBO,
wala
Kubo,
kang
QBO.
excuse.
Oh, oh.
QBO. So walang ano to walang excuse guys, laging may event. So ikaw ang kailangan talagang maghanap ng oras at dumayo ka talaga and meet entrepreneurs, learn from them, tsaka share your... Ito yung isang gusto ko lang sabihin na like yung sinasabi sa mga entrepreneurs ko. Huwag kayong matakot i-explain o sabihin ang inyong idea. Yung mga iniisip nila agad na pag sinabi nila ang idea nila may kokopya kaya natatakot sila. That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing that you can do because what happens is wala kang nakukuhang feedback, hindi mo na-refine yung idea. So you should try to share your idea so that people will give you feedback and you'll learn more about it. Because remember, ideas are cheap. It's all about execution. So kung sino yung the best na mag-execute ng idea na yon, siya ang magwawagi at siya yung magkakaroon ng negosyo na talaga magsasucceed.
Ulitin lang natin yan, di ba? Guys, again, ideas are cheap. It's really all about the execution. Same thing happened to Apple, di ba? Apple, ideas are cheap. It was the execution of how they created their, ang tawag dito, nako, I'm dating myself, iMusic, iPad, di ba? It was,
I
others were
choose
technically
iPod,
better,
yeah.
but I choose iPad, executed it much, much better in terms of how it looked, how it felt. So yan yung talagang naging dominant sa ating industriya. We're going to move on to our last two questions over here. I wish we had more time, no? But they're really great questions I want to ask. The first one is for Pinky, the second one for Artie, no? And I think this is nice. The first one is from Christina Katapia. And I'm addressing this to Pinky because it's a question about, when was the time that you finally realized that you want to become an entrepreneur? Because, I mean, for many years, you were actually, although it was sort of like a family business, but you were a corporate executive in a family business, whether it was Goldilocks or Domino's, but finally you made the jump to become an entrepreneur. I know there was also a personal stake as to why you wanted to, but also there must have been something else going on in your head aside from just saying that it was a personal mission for you. Was there anything else that made you want to pursue the entrepreneurial lifestyle?
Yeah, the personal mission is very important to me because I wanted to make a difference. Parang to me, I'm not really too biblical about it, because some people might get turned off. But to me, it was like one day I had an aha moment. It's like if I came face to face with Jesus and it was like going to be, what did you do on earth to glorify my name? I can't really say, ay, pinalaki ko si ganyan, I made ganito, this brand's number one, or this brand's this. So it's like, wow, and I want to be able to say that I created something from nature that will, it's like circular economy, helping, going back and then going back and giving back. That was my purpose. And so that's when I decided I'm going to be a social entrepreneur.
I love that story. I love that so much. Before everything else, before we let Pinky go, Pinky, where can they find your products for LivClean?
Yeah, we have a website, LivClean, LivCleanPH.com. We have an e-commerce solution, and our products are available in Shopee and Lazada. And firstSkincarePH.com. It's a line of natural products for men and women, and it's also an e-commerce solution that we have in our website. Plus, also available in Shopee and Lazada. We're in the works now with other distribution channels and retailers. So watch out for it very soon.
Thanks so much, Miss Pinky Yee of LivClean
Thank
and
you.
First Products at the same time. Thank you so much for the inspiration. Now, moving on now to Coach Artie over here, and I like this question over here, Artie. From Brown and Proud Manila, how do you start if you have an idea, Coach Artie? What are your tips? Because usually what happens is that, diba, especially if you are, I have a problem that I want to solve, and you come up with an idea or with an app, but you go, hindi naman ako web developer, hindi naman ako programmer, hindi naman ako, wala naman sa finance, but you've got a really great idea. Where do they take that from there? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. No, and totoo yan. Gusto mo mag-create ng tech product, iniisip mo hindi ka programmer, so that's not for you. Hindi totoo yan. You have the opportunity. Kaya you go to like places like Kubo, you have those events, you meet these people, and if they have the same, alam mo, you have like-minded kayo, you have the same mind, you both want to solve the same problem, then you can actually work together, and that's where collaboration happens. That's where the magic happens, and you're able to create great teams to build great products. So, ang isang napaka-importanting trait ng isang entrepreneur is to become humble, no? Humility. To know what you are good at, but to know what you are not good at. And to know your gaps. And yun yung hahanapin mo in team members, no? Sino yung mga, saan ako mahina na pwede akong kumuha ng teammate na magaling, na I trust, and he also wants to solve the same problem that I do. And then that's when we try to work together. But always go back to the problem. When you try to recruit people, don't recruit them na gusto mong yumaman. Alam mo yun, marami na akong magandang idea. You always try to see if they resonate with the problem that you are trying to solve. Because that's the only time na alam mo nandyan sila for the thick or thin. Magka-problema, magka-hindi, sasabay sila sa'yo. But to answer, how do you start? If you have an idea, first of all, start talking about it. Tell other people, listen to what they have to say, get that feedback. And then take small steps. Wag mo iisipin na kailangan malaki agad. Alam mo yun, mag-rent ka ng opisina. Okay, isipin mo kailangan mo mag-register sa DTI. Gawin mo yun later on. Pero sa simula, testing ka lang muna, talk to people, and then again, try to come up with a prototype. Try to come up with a minimal viable prototype of what is it that you want to do or you want to sell. And tingnan mo lang, pakita mo sa mga ideal customers, patok ba? Is it what they want? Is it exactly solving their problem? And then that is when you grow into a real business na. But validate. Always the start, validate. If you have an idea, validate it first.
Thank you so much, Coach Artie. And before everything else, kung gusto nilang bumisita sa NextPay or they're interested to get NextPay for their company, where can they visit?
Yes, please. Sa mga negosyante natin dyan, sa mga entrepreneurs, sigurado po ako pag nagsisimula kayo, nahihirapan kayo when it comes to your finances, no? Yung mga expenses nyo sa pagpapasweldo ng inyong mga tao, sa pagbabayad ng mga supplier, mga vendor, o sa pangongolekta ng payments galing sa inyong mga customer. In NextPay, matutulungan namin kayo. So please visit nextpay.world and nextpay.world, and there you can sign up in 5 minutes. Actually, wala pa, siguro 2 minutes lang. Meron ka ng account, pwede mo nang gamitin at pwede ka na mag-send ng money o mag-collect ng money para sa iyong negosyo. Okay? So do that. It's free.
Mr. Artie Lopez, co-founder of NextPay. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time. We really, really appreciate it. Sa mga nakikinig po dito ngayon, let's show them some love. Let's say thank you to Miss Pinky and Coach Artie right now for giving them all the great advice here. Really, I hope we learned so much from our two guests here this afternoon. And at the same time, stay around. If you've got more questions, keep the questions coming sa ating chat box. We would love to hear from all of you later on. Now, in the meantime, Coach Pinky, Coach Artie, any last words for all our students, entrepreneur students listening here right now?
No, I'd like to thank Nakakalocal for giving the SMEs a platform, to love our own and grow global. So yun lang, parang because there's so much talent in the Filipino, we are world class, and so just find that inner voice that will tell you go for it.
Yeah, so the inner voice, very important. The inner voice here, listen to that one. And your inner voice to serve everybody else. Maraming salamat. Art, any last words?
Yes, ako, you know what? I just want to share with everyone, no? When people always ask me what is my regret as an entrepreneur, the one thing that I keep telling them is, I wish I started sooner. So, doon sa mga nag-iisip pa lang, either nasa trabaho na kayo ng 10, 15 years, kunyari, pero gusto mo maging entrepreneur, or baka estudyante ka pa lang, kaka-graduate mo pa lang at gusto mong subukan maging entrepreneur, start it. Just do it right now. And I promise you, you will learn eventually and you will get better and better. Mahirap yung you're waiting for the right time. There is no such thing for waiting.
There's no right time. There's no right time. The right time is now.
There's no right time. The right time is now. Exactly, Artie.
Ayan.
So again, to everyone, Nakakalocal, maraming salamat. Thank you for supporting and helping entrepreneurs. And the same thing, good luck sa lahat ng entrepreneur natin dito.
Thanks so much, Coach Artie. Thanks so much, Mickey. Sa mga nakikinig dito ngayon, the right time is now. So kung na-inspire kayo sa mga sinabi ni Pinky pati ni Artie, start your business right away. You've got so many avenues. Wala nang excuse po. Again, there you go, everyone. We have now reached the end of our form. Again, maraming salamat sa iyong naglaan ng oras upang makibahagi sa ating programa ngayong gabi. We really appreciate it. Again, we would like to thank and set our appreciation to our guest speakers and panelists who share their time, their resources, their insight, and their experience with us. We'd also like to thank all of our sponsors who helped make Nakakalocal possible here right now. It was brought to you by our good friends in, again, the Philippine Star. Thank you so much to the Philippine Star for this one in cooperation with Toyota, Ortigas Malls, Robinsons Malls, SM Supermalls, Vista Mall, All Home Coffee Project, All Day Supermarket, and RCBC, Discartech, and of course, with the support of our good friends from San Miguel Corporation, PLDT, Tri-Motors Technology Corporation, SGV and Company, Entrego, and Multisys, my good friend David Almiron of Multisys. Kumusta, David? And of course, Multisys' Multi-Store. Also with our partner organizations, the DTI Philippines, Go Negosyo, Ayala Enterprise Circle, Pili Ani PH, Rush, Yamang Pinoy, Vernew, All-Learn, and the Startup Village. And with our media partners, GMA, ABS-CBN News, One News PH, and Page. Page Media again muli sa amin lahat. Maraming salamat from our friends from Nakakalocal. Thank you for joining us. My name is RJ Ledesma, your host. And if you want to listen more to have a great podcast which comes out every Tuesday and Thursday online sa FB Live. I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs. Please feel free to listen to the podcast, the RJ Ledesma podcast on Facebook Live. You can also follow that on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Or you can visit my website, rjledesma.com. This has been Nakakalocal. Ready, set, go, Negosyo online form. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend, everybody. God bless. Thanks so much for being here. God bless. Thank you so much.
In the Philippines, SMEs are no small matter. With the challenges of the recent years, we want to help SMEs bounce back, grow, and succeed. The Philippine Star, together with its partners, gives you Nakakalocal. Love local, grow global. Nakakalocal is an advocacy program that will shine the spotlight on SMEs. By showcasing their products, we will encourage more Filipinos to buy local. By featuring our artisans' craftsmanship, we will spread the word on Pinoy skill and creativity. By mounting specialized events, we will empower and motivate entrepreneurs with the right tools and insights to make their business grow.
Nakakalocal is the latest initiative by the Philippine Star with the purpose of contributing to nation building. We believe SMEs are vital drivers of economic growth in the Philippines, and so we plan to support them by offering ourselves as a platform for their creative products and their inspiring stories. We are excited to promote SMEs that are developing products and services that can stand the test of time. We want to connect with businesses eager to put the Philippines on the global map with their own creativity. We want to work with companies who can best represent our culture, history, or identity in what they make and promote. More importantly, they have to be ethical and socially responsible entrepreneurs who support sustainable practices in their operations. Nakakalocal is for every SME that wants a door of possibilities open for their growth and expansion. May Nakakalocal be the first of many future endeavors that inspire more Filipinos to support local brands and for the Philippine Star to showcase the ingenuity of our nation's world-class talent.
Our goals are simple. Get more Filipinos to buy local and get more SMEs to go global. Nakakalocal can be the partner you need to grow your SME. Know more about us.